Hey, what's up, everybody? Magic with RacingNews.com here to watch the replay for the Del Mar Futurity, a Grade 1 race that has a lot of Bob Baffert horses in it, usually because Bob Baffert's pretty good in this race. And this one, he's got 3 entered. K-Brock was the one coming into this. It was the big favorite. He was 6-5 on John White's morning line. We're going to see what his odds go off at here in a second, but had the fastest, until Saturday, had the fastest debut or the fastest maiden special weight win for any 2-year-old all summer long at Del Mar, winning a 6.5 furlong maiden special weight, getting a 101 buyer with Juan Hernandez in the saddle. Hernandez is back aboard. Hernandez, if you weren't watching Del Mar, had himself an absolutely epic meet. But here we go. Kalleward is the 7 horse. Bob Baffert also has the 6 Newgate and the 8 Having a Meltdown. Having a Meltdown won the Best Pal Stakes over this track last time out. So, here we go. We're off. A good break from the Baffert horses. You would expect that. Having a Meltdown is going to go a little bit to the lead here, which is interesting. He did go to the lead in the Best Pal, and K-Brock led in his debut, but they're going to run with each other. You notice here the Silks are the same as well. Pegram, Wetman, and Wattsman. I might have the order mixed up, but those are the 3 amigos. These are like the OG for Baffert owners that are still in the sport. McKinsey was one of theirs recently. You can go back. They had a lot of great horses with Baffert that predate my time in the sport. 21.5. That is fast. Look at K-Brock on the inside there. He's 2-5 at going off. Watch him. Man, Hernandez is pretty confident. Mike Smith is looking pretty good on Having a Meltdown as well. Newgate, the 6, is sucking air way back there in third. This is a 2-horse race. Having a Meltdown is going to make a nice... Well, let's see what happens here. Takes the shot. Hernandez still hasn't asked. Now he's going to get after K-Brock. Wow, that's a nice effort. Look at him immediately respond there. That's pretty... Wow. Wow, look at him extend there. Look at him extend there. Wow. Yeah, that's a horse that's going to be able to handle 2 turns. That was impressive. The way he accelerated there in this stretch, that was very, very impressive. Leaving Having a Meltdown. Undefeated Bob Baffert horse. Won his debut, then wins the Best Pal of the local prep over this track. And he just accelerated away from it like it was nothing. Speedboat Beach is the horse that won Saturday. Broke his maiden, set the track record for 5.5 furlongs at Del Mar. He got a 100+ buyer too. So Bob Baffert and the 3 amigos looking pretty good here. And then you see the Avengers horse there, Newgate. There's the results. I wasn't even watching the end there. Newgate actually falls to 4th. Skinner gets 3rd. That's an interesting horse. There's a lot of horses from this race that I think are curious moving forward. Let's start with K-Brock. So K-Brock wins, a son of the late great Arrogate, who won the Travers, won the Breeders' Cup Classic, won the Pegasus World Cup, the Dubai World Cup, one of the greatest races of it. Well, until Flightline, possibly the greatest dirt race I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. So out of a Majestic Warrior mare, it could be a little distance limited there, a Bellamy Road mare. Might be a little distance limited there, but the Arrogate side there and the way he accelerated 2 turns, no problem for him. If they want to go to the Grade 1 American Pharoah Stakes, that's next up. That's a Breeders' Cup win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Seems like a sensible place, but he's going to have to face the same color bearer, Speedboat Beach. So you've watched to see what happens there. But listen, K-Brock looked incredible. Backs up the 101 buyer they got for winning on debut. It was at 6.5 furlongs that day. I'm going to look at the fractions right now because I'm noticing here when they went, let me pull this down for a second, 108.5 for the 3/4. When he went 6.5 for his debut, so just a half furlong shorter, K-Brock went 109.35. So he went 4/5 of a second faster while going a little bit longer. He went faster going longer, folks. What does that tell you? This horse is going to be great going 2 turns. All right, Having a Meltdown. This is one I think, let's pump the brakes on this one as far as projecting 2 turns. Out of the sire, Uncaptured. Uncaptured himself, he can handle 2 turns, but his progeny, they're really solid. They're really great dirt sprinting. Dirt routing, he's actually a little bit below average. Now, Baffert's the trainer. He did turn Charlatan by Spicetown into an amazing 2-turn dirt horse for a second. So, but even with the Put It Back mare, that tells me this horse is probably going to be limited. Having a Meltdown. But 7 furlongs is a great distance. The Las Barrera, I think a mile might be his limit. I don't know if mile and an eighth. I don't know that I want to see that horse do that. He did make a good effort there visually. He did challenge Cave Rock. Just when Cave Rock got challenged, Cave Rock said KF and see and left him in the dirt, left him behind. Third place, this is the horse I'm excited to talk about projecting, is the 4-horse Skinner. Now, let's back up for a second. This race had 9 horses entered in them, but you had multiple maidens. The 3 mixed 2 was making his second career start, and then also with Skinner. Skinner was 5th on debut to having a meltdown, who we saw come back and be second here. But the fact that John Sheriff's just said, we're putting this horse, a maiden who was 5th, beaten 7 lengths in his only start, we're going to put him in a 7 furlong grade 1 race against 3 Bob Bafferts, one that popped a 101 buyer. Hey, look, he didn't disappoint. This is a son of Curlin out of the Malibu Moon mare. Distance is going to be his horse's friend. Then watch this horse when we moved, once they turn 3 and we're looking at the Sham Stakes, the Robert B. Lewis Stakes, the Derby Trail for John Sheriff's. CRK stable, they had Honor AP. Sheriff's knows how to, when he's got a good horse, he knows how to keep it in training, keep it going. Victor Espinoza hops aboard this time after Cedillo rode on debut. Cops are coming to arrest me because of the crime of talking about Skinner too much. No, I think Skinner's a great horse. Looking forward, on debut, he had a lot of trouble. I think he's got a big future going 2 turns. One more horse I want to talk about real quick, the 6-horse Newgate for Bob Baffert. John Velasquez rode this horse on debut to a win. Velasquez came in and rode him this weekend. Usually those are the signs that Velasquez and his agent Ron Anderson think they might have a potential Breeders' Cup or Derby horse. He wasn't any match for even the top 2. And if you watch the back, he was sitting there close to them early in 3rd. And then as soon as the top 2 horses started accelerating, they just left him behind. Now, at 2 turns, when they're not going to be able to accelerate away from him so quickly like that, could he be better? Yes. The fact that Velasquez was riding him, in 2 starts, but he's by Into Mischief. Into Mischief, sired Authentic, won the Kentucky Derby, won the Breeders' Cup Classic. So he can give distance horses, but it's out of Majestic Warrior mare. To me, that screams we're going to be limited. I think a mile and a 16th is going to be this horse's limit. I think early in the 3-year-old season, when you're looking at the Sham Stakes, when you're looking at the Robert B. Lewis Stakes, he could be a contender. Santa Anita Derby, longer distances beyond 9 furlongs even. Boy, I'm going to need to see a lot more from this horse there. But early on, looking like a good one. Cave Rock looks like a beast. What did you think? Is Cave Rock the top 2-year-old right now? I know we had Forte looking great. Damon's Mountain Gulfport have all looked pretty good in Saratoga. Others as well. I don't know. Cave Rock right now. It's Bob Baffert with a 2-year-old star. Anybody surprised? I'm not. Leave your comments down below. Hit like before you leave the video. Subscribe to youtube.com/racingdudes. We'll see you at the track.